One of the things that cyclical living really teaches us is how to move in the ebbs and flows along with the seasons. And so today we're going to do an episode diving into the energy around the spring equinox, which is happening very timely right now, and how you can use this energy for your own seasonal planning, to brainstorm new ideas, to initiate new projects, and to really harness what is happening around you for your internal success. Welcome back to the Essence Show and podcast. I'm so excited to dive into a yummy, beautiful episode on the spring equinox energy, which is currently happening, moving around us. And it's bringing in themes of balance, rebirth, and growth, really helping you set the scene to plant some new seeds of intention, to plant some new goals, and to set yourself up for what it is that you're wanting to create, right? We don't just wake up one day and have everything that we ever wanted. We have to go through the process of creation to get there. And that is what seasonal living teaches us. That's what it means to align yourself with your cyclical nature for your success. That's the baseline of working like a woman. It is understanding the cycles that you move through for creation to take place. That can be internally in your body, literally in your womb space, creating life, but also creating your creative endeavors, your projects, your personal goals, your work goals, your business goals. And so the energy right now is super potent for setting the scene, setting the stage to actually plant those seeds of intention. So I'm going to give you some tools today. I'm going to talk about how you can work with this energy and how you can really activate something bigger for yourself right now so that you can start getting some momentum on underneath your feet, beneath you, to start moving some things forward. So before we dive into all of that, if you're new here, welcome to the Essence Show and podcast. This is the place where we dive into the essence of what it means to create success like a woman. So feminine-based success, feminine-based productivity, working together with your womb, working together with your cyclical nature to really revolutionize the way that you've been taught to do success, the way that society teaches us what success is, how we need to work and hustle and grind ourselves into the ground to create the success that we think we want, and revolutionizing what that means for you, what that looks like in your life, bringing in freedom and pleasure and ease and flow into how you're able to create that. Because when you are tapped in and aligned with the inner cycles of your body, when you are supporting and working together with your body, you are actually able to create success that's holistic, that's self-sustaining, that is long lasting and actually supports itself as it begins and continues to expand, as opposed to doing, and then getting to a point where you just burn out, which is what a lot of us as high achieving women have experienced. I know that personally, I'm not alone in that either. So, in the name of working like a woman, working with your cyclical nature, we're talking about the seasons. The seasons are also a cycle that we go through, and the seasons actually mirror what is happening in your own cycle within your body. So, in your monthly menstrual cycle, it's reflected back to us. And so, we can really work with these energies to harness the way that we create. Again, like I said before, not just internally within your body, within yourself, but also externally in the world. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure you go do that. Hit that subscribe button. If you are following along on a podcast platform, make sure you hit that follow button, leave a rating and review, or leave a rating in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. Anyone who leaves a rating and sends it to me will receive a special bonus meditation activation for actually activating your cyclical nature for your success, getting into the flow vibe, the flow energy, which is what activates alignment. I will send that straight to your inbox, and that is only accessible when you send a review in. So if you are feeling called, if you love this episode, if you love this show, if you're feeling like you want to pass it on, you want to spread the wealth and share the love, I would so appreciate you doing that. And like I said, I have a special little gift for you if you send that my way. A lot of what I'm going to be talking and sharing about in this episode today comes from a bigger framework that I teach inside one of my mini courses, Cyclical Ascension. And it is the framework of success, the cycle of success, as I call it. And so if you're wanting to learn more about that, I have links in the description below for you to jump into Cyclical Ascension or to explore some of the other offers that I have so that you can really start getting this flowing in your life. But I'll talk more about that at the end as well. And you're always welcome to reach out if you have any questions. So let's dive into the theme of the spring equinox, which is happening on March 20th. This is 2024. March 20th is the day of the spring equinox this year. It tends to vary by a day or two. So if you are listening to this episode at a later date, just know that you can activate this energy at any point, even throughout the year. You can activate this energy in spring 5 years from now. It doesn't really matter. You can go and Google to find out what the actual date is, depending on whatever year we are in right now. But just know that what you're getting from this episode today is a baseline understanding of how to work with the seasonal energy and also how to apply this energy. So the first thing to understand here is the theme of the spring equinox. And like I mentioned before, this is really about balance. It is about rebirth, and it is about activating growth. So the reason for this is that the equinox actually represents an equal state of light and dark, because it is the turning point from where we've had longer nights over the course of the winter season, and we're stepping into longer days as we move into the season of summer. And so this marks the equal point between an equal amount of hours of daylight and an equal amount of hours of darkness. And so there's this beautiful balance that is coming through energetically. And when we look at what light and dark really represents, the light, the sun, represents masculine energy, and the dark, the night, represents feminine energy, the moon. And so there's this beautiful opportunity for you right now to come back into balance within these energies within yourself. And when we talk about success, we need a balance of both of these energies. The masculine energy is the structure, it is the foundations, it's the framework that allows us to show up consistently, to do the work, to move things forward, to take action. And the feminine is the space of flow. It's the space of creativity. It's the tuning into your intuition, getting those downloads, being in flow with your inner energies, being in flow with your body, and really allowing that to inform how you move and move things forward within the general structure that you're sitting within. One of the things that I will say has been really helpful for me in my life, and also what I see with my clients, is that we crave the feminine so much that often we reject a masculine structure. And the structure is so important. The structure needs to be there in order to hold what it is that you're here to create, the dream, the vision that you have. And so if we don't have a structure, we're not going to be able to sustain the vision, and vice versa, it's true as well. A lot of us as high ambitious, overachieving women at times, we obsess over the structure. We're trying to plan everything and put everything into place perfectly, and we're micromanaging the plan and the organization. I will personally raise my hand to that. So if that resonates with you, you are not alone. But what we do then is we restrict the ability for the feminine to flow, or for the creativity to flow, if the word feminine doesn't inherently resonate with you. And so this balancing act between these two, this is a call for you to come back to that right now. And for you at a baseline to just reflect on what balance looks like for you in your life right now, how it feels for you right now. If you have balance, if you have the balance that you would like to have and be experiencing. This is also the theme and the time of rebirth then. So anything new that you're wanting to bring to the forefront or to bring back into balance, this is the time to do it. And the reason for this is that the winter season is now coming to an end with the mark of the spring equinox. We're starting into the season of spring now. And the winter season is the season of death, right? Nothing is fertile. Nothing is meant to grow. If we think about the seasons in a very four-season kind of way, the winter time is when all the animals go into hibernation, when the snow is covering the fields. And so we have this space of death, of nothingness, of infertility, or the fertile void, as it's called, that gives the opportunity for space in order for the rebirth to happen again come springtime. So now spring is here, and the buds are starting to peek up their heads from beneath the earth. We're starting to see the flowers coming up. We're starting to feel the warmth growing and expanding. The daylight is expanding. There's a rebirth happening, and that naturally begins to feed into growth. A rebirth sparks that growth. So, like I said, as this pertains to your success, as this pertains to what you're wanting to create, this is a beautiful, perfect time to actually start initiating new projects. Okay. And if you're looking at this also in comparison to your womb cycle, this is really that phase of the follicular phase of your menstrual cycle. And it's that phase of a new beginning after your bleed is complete. So after you finish your period and you're starting the cycle again, you're starting to get energized again. You're coming out of that hibernation time, that rest phase that is represented by your monthly bleed, and stepping into taking action again. And that is really the energy of the spring equinox and of the season. So, as it pertains to your success and your projects, this is the phase of innovation. So, we've just talked about all the energies, all the themes around what this time actually represents, what the energy can feel like, what it can mean for you. But let's narrow it down to how you can actually take action in regards to what it is that you're wanting to create, what your projects are that you're currently wanting to start or initiate or that you've been dreaming about. So it is called the innovation phase, the season of spring energy. And again, this phase of innovation doesn't have to happen in the springtime. It just matches this energy. So if you are wanting to start or initiate something right now, it's a really great time to do that because you not only have that energy internally in your life of, oh, I'm excited to start something new, or this new project is now starting, or this new goal, I'm going to take action on it. But the energy externally around you in your environment is supporting that as well. It's reflecting it back to you. So the phase of innovation comes from a framework that I have coined called the cycle of success, and it maps out how you can move through your cyclical nature that is mirrored by your womb, it is mirrored by the moon, it is mirrored by these 4 seasons, but how you can use this framework for actually planning, mapping out, executing, and successfully achieving your goals. So this phase of innovation, represented by this energy of spring, is the time to start to plan. It is the time to start to brainstorm and put your projects into motion. So, how do you work with this energy to actually plan and start planting the seeds of what it is you're wanting to create? And I'm going to break it down in 3 main parts. So, first and foremost, we want to clarify. I want you to clarify what your intentions are, what your goal is, what your bigger dream is of what it is that you want to create in your reality over the next couple months, maybe even over the next couple years. What is it that you're wanting to create? What is that pull that has been coming through to you again and again? Is it starting a business? Is it launching a course? Is it changing jobs? Is it getting a promotion? Is it moving forward into a new phase of life in terms of your relationship or marriage or kids? Maybe it's literally moving into a new home. What is your goal that is coming through to you that you're really feeling called to answer? And the first step to clarifying, and I talk about this in my Plan Your Year Like a Woman course, which helps you actually map out all of these seasonal structures in your goal setting. So if this is speaking to you, I highly recommend checking that out. But creating this space to really feel in and listen to what's coming up. So often we get one little download of an idea, or we have one little thought that comes through because we saw someone else do something here or whatever it is, and we take action before we fully fleshed out the idea in terms of what it is that we want to create. So that doesn't mean that you need to know every part of the idea, every part of the goal, every part of the vision. No, but you want to sit with it long enough for it to really bubble up and come through. We don't want to initiate something on that first little fire matchbox spark, because that matchbox spark might not last. We want to initiate once we've lit the match and we're going over to light the candle, and then the candle's burning and we're like, okay, now there's a fire inside me around this particular goal or vision. Now I actually have the momentum or the commitment even to move things forward for this thing. Does that make sense? So perhaps you've already gained that clarity, but if you haven't, I really encourage you to sit with this and really consider what it is that you're wanting to create. What does it look like in your life? And what is it going to give you? And I say this a lot to my clients who run businesses or who are high achieving women in leadership roles in corporate positions. And the question really comes down to, what is this position or what is this business going to give you back in your own life personally? Because of course we want the thing, we want the status, we want the income, we want the clients, we want the business, whatever it is, but we want it for a deeper reason. We want it for something that reflects back to us in our own life. So what is that? What is that for you? Part two is to declare. And this is literally planting those seeds of intention. And I love the analogy of using the seasons to plant goals, to tap into that spring energy, pretend you're weeding out your garden and you're just planting these new seeds for yourself for this next year. And this means getting into the nitty gritty of brainstorming, getting creative. So maybe even going to some sort of creative class that could help you tap into your creativity here, doing the research. Maybe that means taking a course. Maybe that means getting some support in some sense. But most importantly, this phase of declaring what it is that you want and starting to place the planning pieces down on a map for yourself is to create more space. And this is where a lot of people get planning really, really wrong, is that they start the plan and they finish it all in the same day, thinking that they need every single piece and every single part mapped out. Metaphorically speaking, you might not finish it all in one day, but it's like, I cannot start this until I have a fully fleshed out plan. That is not the point of this energy. This energy is playful energy. It's curiosity energy. It's brainstorming energy. It's this playfulness of creativity, like, oh, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. What could I create here? What do I want to learn? What's pulling me towards something? At this phase, we definitely don't want to be pulled into a sense of, oh my God, I have to learn this thing now. Because if I don't learn this thing, I'm not going to get this result. Like that all of a sudden is very restrictive energy. So we want to keep it open. We want to keep it flowy. So it's getting into the planning part around what ideas might come up here. What directions could I go in? It's not locking in a sure, foolproof, fully fleshed out plan. Okay. So you want to declare what you want and create a rough outline. The clarity in the what is way more important than how you're going to be executing on this. The how is going to unfold once you know where you are going. Okay. And then part number 3 is flow, AKA let the F go of the timeline and of the pressure of these intentions. The key to flow is focusing on pleasure over pressure. And the question that you can ask yourself here is, where can I be more playful with this goal? Where can I be more playful with this vision? And this helps to release the pressure. So you start to focus instead on enjoying being in the process of creating it. Each step that you take, each action that you feel called to make. So a great example of this would be if you're looking for a new apartment or a new home and you're looking online, you're feeling stressed about it, and you're like, it has to happen by this date. How can you play with that? Could you go on Pinterest and just get excited about what that space is going to feel like? Could you go take a trip to the neighborhood that you want to live in and just imagine you're driving home from work? Like get into that playful energy to release the pressure and get back into how much pleasure you can experience from what it is that you want, but also being in the process of getting there. And the same example can be true for a career goal or a business goal. Starting to be playful. How can you enjoy the process more? And maybe that even means bringing in elements of creativity and attaching them to your business, like going to a coffee shop to journal or to paint or draw, just to bring in some of that creative energy that will inform how you then show up in your work or your business or your career. The second element of flow is to expand your life beyond just this goal and to make sure that not everything in your life is about this one single thing. Find other hobbies, find other fun pastimes, connect to your social life or your social groups. Give yourself pauses from being in this all the time. A lot of the time when we think about a goal and what we want to create, we have this feeling that we always need to be deeply engaged with it or connected to it in some way. Otherwise, we don't care enough or it's not going to be moving forward. When in reality, this actually creates obsession that puts more pressure on it needing to happen. So allow yourself the space to let go. Allow yourself the space to go and enjoy your life and to really be in the process of enjoying and to let go of the obsessing. Okay. So to summarize, this is the season of planning. This is the season of you planting your seeds of intention. But with that being said, we're not doing this strict, over hyper masculine planning where you need to control everything and have everything set exactly perfect. No, that's not what flow planning is about. And what we also don't want to do is rush things forward. We want to give them space to unfold. So you have your steps for putting your plan into place, using the energy of this spring season, of this phase of project creation known as innovation, and begin revolutionizing your success right there. If you want to dive into this deeper, I highly recommend my mini course, Cyclical Ascension, because I go into the entire cycle of success, which includes the phase of innovation. But if you're wanting to have the full picture, the full view, and actually map that out further, and know what comes after innovation, et cetera, and how to actually put that into play, I highly recommend Cyclical Ascension. If you have any other questions about putting this plan into place, if you want some additional one-on-one support, that is what I'm here for. This is what I do. Let me know in the comments, or you can always reach out to me on Instagram, send me a DM, or via email, and all the links to that are in the description below. That is all from me for today. Sending you lots of love, sending you magical, intuitive downloads during this spring equinox, and I cannot wait to hear what you are planting and the goals and visions that you are planning towards with this energy. Till next time.